cameras. All right, and welcome to Try Hip Hop Podcast. I mean, damn, layers of the culture. Layers of the culture.
Layers of the culture.
Layers of the culture.
We gonna get it right one of these days.
Damn. It's your boy.
We did that one for 6 years, so it's hard to get it out your system.
Yeah. This is Howie.
And this is Kurt. What's up, y'all?
All right.
All right, so this episode number 7.
Number 7. Lucky number 7.
Got a few things to talk about, you know what I mean? But of course, before we get started, how was your week, sir?
Week? It's been a little crazy, man. Not crazy, but yeah, I grilled out, you know what I'm saying, for Memorial Day.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that. I tried to get that together. Today I might be interviewing for a second job.
Oh, that's what's up,
so
man.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm not gonna tell you what it is so I don't fuck it up. Be like, yeah, don't hire this nigga. Don't hire. So I'm looking forward to that, man. I think it's gonna help some things move along and everything. So I'm excited about that. You, sir?
Everything's been good, man. I can't even complain. You know what I mean? Today I woke up yesterday I kind of got my yearly back issues because I got degenerative discs in the back and sciatica and all that. So kind of just jumped on me yesterday. So I've been dealing with that. But other than that, man, life is good, man. I'm happy. So I can't even complain.
Hey, man, we're gonna have to take you in the back, put you down like, oh yeah. Hers just look at them clouds over there. Just concentrate on that for a minute.
Look that way.
And you gonna feel some pressure. What?
Yo,
no, I'm just playing, man.
It is what it is, man. Sometimes you got to deal with that. So if any of y'all know how them back problems go, tell us in the comments because it ain't no joke.
Yep.
But yeah, man, everything's been good, so I can't complain other than that. You know what I mean? So, let's go ahead and jump into a few things because we got a lot to talk about.
Yep.
What do you want to go into first?
Let's go ahead and get let's talk about the art. Did anybody pass away that we know of?
Not in hip hop, but we lost the NBA star Bill Walton.
Yeah, I did see
nobody
that.
in hip hop, but rest in peace to Bill Walton. But no, I don't think there was anybody hip hop related that passed away or anything like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so and then you want to jump into the question of the day, or you want to do the birthdays?
Let's go ahead and do the birthdays, man.
All right. I got a few birthdays I want to go ahead and jump. At the end of May, we had a few, and some in the beginning of June. So back on May 21st, we had Biggie, the rap phenomenon. Rest in peace to him. Yes, sir. Also on the same day, Havoc.
All right.
You know what I mean? Some heavy hitters on the same day. On May 22nd, we had MC8, Gia, and Africa Baby Bam, you know what I mean, from the Jungle Brothers. So happy birthday to them. On the 24th, we had my man G-Eazy, also Heavy D, and Daz Dillinger from the Dog Pound.
Okay.
Yeah, all on the same day. On May 26th, we had Lauryn Hill.
Oh, yeah, the queen.
Shout out to her. May 27th, we had Lisa Lopez from, the trio, you know what I mean? Left Eye, she did her thing. Rest in peace to her.
Yep.
TLC was always one of my favorite groups, but
yeah, they were dope. I didn't know they were really considered an R&B group.
Yeah, they were.
But I thought they was like
they were so heavy in the hip hop. Yeah, they were definitely.
They really did that very well.
Yeah, but on the same day we had my man 3 Stacks. Happy birthday to him, Chi Ali. Let's see here, Jadakiss and Spoonie G, the legend. Yes, sir. On the 28th, happy birthday goes out to Chubb Rock. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Just, put one up for him. And then today's the 29th. We got my man Keith Murray. Yeah, man. Happy birthday to him. The most beautifulest thing in this world.
Just like that.
Yeah. Coming up on the 30th, we got CeeLo Green. We also got Big L, rest in peace. Jimmy Spicer, rest in peace.
Yep.
And Remy Ma. So yeah, happy birthday to all of them. May 31st, we got my man Waka Flocka Flame.
Waka Flocka.
DMC, from Run DMC. Always got to shout him out. You know what I mean? He was gracious enough to let us get that interview. And, I'll never forget it. He was a genuine dude. Also on the same day, my man Frost, used to be known as Kid Frost.
Okay.
Coming up on June 2nd, we got Be Real from Cypress Hill. Also on the same day, Mad Skills. Coming up on June 3rd, Dave East and my man Tech from Smith & Wesson. And then coming up on the 4th, MC Jen.
All right.
So happy birthday to all of them. That's all I'll drop for now. So we can go ahead and jump into some other topics. You want me to go ahead and go over some music?
Let's go ahead and get in the question today.
Question of the day? Okay.
Yeah, so
go ahead with your question of the day.
So did Latinos create hip-hop?
Did Latinos create hip-hop? Okay. Well, I mean, that's up for debate. I mean, I think the majority of the creators of hip-hop were African Americans, but there were definitely some Latinos mixed in there, sprinkled in there, because they were inner city kids just like us. I think that a lot of the hip hop culture came from gang culture, because there was a lot of gang violence going on and they were trying to give them an outlet. And so, we were all trying to learn other ways to, take out our frustrations. And so that's when you had the, dancing, the B-boys and B-girls. You had the rapping, where you can get some words off your chest, you had DJing, all of that. So I think that, the majority of the founders of hip hop were African American. But I do think that there were some Latinos mixed in there, a good amount. But, as a collective, yeah, I think they were there in the beginning, but I don't know if they were the creators per se. What do you think?
Well, I mean, pretty much. Most of the culture, even could they even talking about going towards like the people from the islands and stuff, like the Jamaicans and things like that. I mean, just to tie it in with the Latins, the Latinos rather. They're trying to. It's like I don't understand why it's a narrative. I mean, shout out to Tariq Nasheed, which we're going to talk about that later. But it's such a narrative that they're really trying to retell the story of this. I mean, this music that was technically a fad at first. Like people wasn't really like, what I'm saying? They wasn't, I ain't gonna say not checking for it, but I mean, let's be real. Like most of the whatmacallits, what I'm saying? Most of the whatmacallit, the main music of those that day was like R&B, rock,
right,
soul. You know what I'm saying? Of the 80s. Yeah, of the 80s and stuff and the 70s. Like hip hop wasn't really that mainstream. So I don't understand why the power of the beat, now that there's this big juggernaut and certain people outside our culture kind of dictate where it goes and control it, why they're trying to change the history up.
Right.
So yeah. But yeah, the Latinos, like what you said, they were there in the beginning because of, what was going on in New York, obviously. But as far as like the creators, now those were black people.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. And if y'all out there, watching this, put it in the comments. If you know your hip hop history, let us know what your opinion on the situation is, and let's weigh in. You know what I mean? And please don't forget, hit the buttons, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all.
All right.
All right. So what should we get into now? Some music or what?
Yeah, we go into the music.
Oh, I had a little note here. I saw a clip where LL was doing an interview. Did you know that the song "Explosive" was supposed to be his?
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He actually recorded a song with Dre on that.
Wow.
But because they scrapped the project, Dre just used the beat on 2001. I was like, wow, I would like to hear that.
Well, they did rap together. That Zoom Zoom, the Bullworth soundtrack.
Yeah,
I really would. That's something I really wish that would have happened more. That Dre and Cool J were, because they do work well together. I felt, and I would have loved to see more of that collaboration.
Yeah, definitely. So I would love to hear that original copy. I don't know if they destroyed it, but I would love to hear how that would have came out. But anyway, as far as new music, we got a few projects coming up. Eminem just announced that he's dropping a new album, and I think it might be his last album because he did a little skit on his channel where he was talking to David Blaine, the magician, on a video call, and he goes, for my next trick, I'm going to drop an album and watch my career disappear.
Wow.
I was like, okay. And he said the album's going to be called Houdini, and it's May 31st. So that's just a couple days away, as we're recording this. We're recording this on the 28th. Oh, no, today's the 29th.
29th.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see what he do with that. Rakim is dropping a new album called The Rebirth.
Okay.
That's coming up in July, but he's going to drop the first single in June.
Very fitting for this time.
Yeah,
very fitting for
definitely.
this time.
So, and this one he's doing a lot of collabs. So he got Snoop Dogg on there. He got a DMX collab. He got Nipsey Hussle and a few other people. So
nice.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of dope. And then Cash Doll, she dropping new joints. You know what I mean? She got a new joint called Cash Commandments. Shout out to her. Lupe Fiasco about to drop an album called Samurai, also coming up in June. So I'll definitely check that out. Pete Rock just dropped a joint with Common called Wise Up. Have you heard that?
Haven't yet. I've seen it because I do remember. I think this was before, even when we was, the other podcast that Common and Pete Rock was going to do like a 90s hip hop joint. So.
Yeah, man. So it's dope. He sampled the MC Shan, The Bridge. Why don't you wise up, show all the people in the place that
you are wet.
Yeah, he sampled that and the beat. So it's dope, man. And then also Chris Rivers, Pun Son, got a song with Corey Gunn.
Oh, yeah.
Die Slowly, man.
Oh, I gotta hear that.
Yeah, they murdered that, man.
I gotta hear that.
So please, y'all, go support that. Freeway just dropped a new joint with Jadakiss.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, called Ringing. So yeah, that's dope, man. I heard it, man. It's got that real sound that you would expect from Freeway, a classic, 90s to early 2000s sound. So I love it. Rhapsody dropping a new album as well. She got a song in there called Raw with Lil Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty dope. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for my new music, man. But y'all go check out that, man. Support these artists because it can't just be about all the artists that just came out in the past 2 years and 3 years. You know what I mean? You got to support these real hip hop heads if you want to, really support the culture. You know what I mean? Because the older heads is dropping some joints. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into some topics, I guess.
All right.
So, well, let's talk about real quick, if you don't mind, Camron on CNN. I just want to throw it out there. What was your thoughts?
Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Diddy told me that he was going to put it in my booty if I talk. No homo. No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he going to put it. That's why I'm drinking the drink, so I get me some cheeks.
Yo, Cam was bugging, man. I mean, I think the interview was going good, but toward the end, he just kind of got a little out of pocket. And, he kind of looked at it as, this is what you get when you put me on, that's just Cam. But I felt like it was still a little over the top for me at the end, when he just kind of was like, who wrote this? Who set this up? Why y'all got me on, just kind of making the interviewer feel some kind of way. I'm like, you ain't got to make that lady feel like that. You know what I mean? Like she just dumb.
Yeah,
I just kind of feel like that was a little out of pocket.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, pretty much the same way. The fact too that that young lady interviewing him was a black woman. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm I mean, it's inexcusable for whoever's doing it. Let me, mention that first. But at the same time, it's like she gave you, what this was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At first, I kind of chalked it up to like, well, hey, maybe they was going to talk about something and, they went left. You know what I'm saying? But they originally, because of their podcast, they wanted him to talk about Diddy because of what they said on his podcast when Mace was saying that. Well, Camron asked, "Why do you hook me up with Diddy?" And he said Mace told him like, "Hey, I trust Big more than Diddy, and I wanted to make sure that you was taken care of." So that's why they wanted to interview him. But yeah, it was kind of uncalled for. And I'm sorry about my impression. I was trying to do Camron, but I think I sounded like Jim Jones. So
maybe a little cross between the two.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
No Diddy, they put in my butt. No
All
Diddy.
The world stand up. But yeah, Camron, he does have a distinct voice, but it's hard to do. I can't do it. But yeah, I just thought it was crazy. But it is what it is, man. What do you want to go into next?
So let's go ahead and talk about these. Because it's pretty much a hot topic, hot button. The Drake reference tracks.
With and the
things like
ghostwriters, man. Oh man, it's not looking good, man.
So I don't think a reference track is necessarily bad.
Right.
As far as like an art, because so I pulled up the definition here. We'll try to put it up on the show. So a reference track, and I think this is by Music Gateway. So I'm just credited to them. It's an audio touch point to get the artist thinking about how they want their record to sound, as well as for a music producer to have clear idea of what an artist is looking for. You might be working with a singer-songwriter who plays guitars and sings. Let me see. Okay, let me go ahead and jump into this. Citation tracking, aka citation analysis, citation tracking, or cited reference searches, refer a deliberate systematic method of measuring and evaluating impact of research. Oh, wait a minute, wrong thing. So that's actually citing people who contribute to the track.
Contributed, okay.
So yeah, I apologize about that.
No worries.
But actually, it's kind of funny that I wrote that up too, because that goes into the ghostwriting.
Yeah.
If you're not giving, you're not giving people their proper due.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, that's the ghostwriter effect.
Yeah, and Drake and his camp, they try to point out that, if you see the song credits, normally it does show who contributed to the writing, which is true, which is cool. But how many people listen to music today go looking for credits on writing? Nobody goes, and it's hard to find that shit too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's not like the old days when we had CDs. You can open it up and it just has a list of every fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got to really go hunting for that shit. So the average fan is not going to say that. And then on top of that, you got Drake saying he wrote his shit. The only time he's ever, that I know of, admitted to letting somebody write for him was the Quentin Miller thing that came out when him and Pusha T was going back at it.
I thought it was Meek Mills.
Was it Meek Mill?
I thought it was Meek Mills.
Well, I think it spilled over into the Pusha T thing as well. But it probably did start with Meek Mills. But he kind of played it off like, I write my own shit, but I was trying to do a favor for this guy, Quentin, and just let him throw him a bone. You can write that song and I'll just rap it. Just to give him some support. But nah, it's coming out now that niggas is writing like 80-90% of your shit.
Yeah, you can't be. That's all right for a pop star. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the hip hop, you can't be top 10 in hip hop and then have. That's even like with Dr. Dre. I like Dr. Dre, but I'm not gonna put him like, oh, he's the top 10 best rapper. Nah, Dre don't write his shit.
Right.
But the thing that Dre does, for the most part, you can't accuse. He credits the people who writes for him. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah. I know there's some things And there's some things that's tricky about Dre's stuff too, you know, with the whole Das Dillinger, you know, producing all the whole
Yeah,
but that's something different.
Side, on the producer side, yeah, there's more to that. There's some layers to that. But on the rapping side, I don't think Dre has ever contested that people write for him. Because it's always been public knowledge that Snoop has wrote for him. Jay-Z has wrote for him. M has wrote for him. You know what I mean? So many people have written for him. And you never seen Dre come out like, oh, nah, nigga, I'm the best rapper alive. I'll never let niggas write for me. He knows that he's not a true lyricist. He just likes rap. And so every time he wants to, you know, do something.
He knows, well, I'm not to cut you off, but like Dre knows the culture.
Right.
So he knows how rapping's supposed to sound.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he knows how, like he got that gift. Matter of fact, even with him, when Eminem was coming up, you know, he would teach him how to like rhyme certain words that didn't necessarily rhyme, but you can stretch it. Like he's got this, you know, the technical stuff down. But as far as like writing, I mean, especially with him doing all the producing, hell, yeah, I'm going to outsource writing. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
because he put most of his focus on producing.
Yeah, I get it.
So I get that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. You know, we all know, you know, when people write for people like him. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So, you know, but when you think about hip hop versus like, let's say, pop or R&B, you know, for us, it's the lyrics. Because for us, we have to be able to credit ourselves with those lyrics to really be respected in the industry. For a singer, it's being able to hit those notes. So that's what got Milli Vanilli in trouble, remember?
Girl, you know it's,
exactly.
Girl, you know it's.
Girl, you know.
Girl, you know.
Got him. And, you know, it's like once we find out you're not really singing, you know, it's not even about the lyrics when it comes to R&B and pop. It's more so about who can actually sing. So that's what fucked them up. So in hip hop, it's about the lyrics because that's where our real talent comes from. We're not hitting no high notes with our voices and shit. We just need to know that our wordplay is on point. And so, you know, that's what kind of messing Dre up. Now I have to admit, I mean, Drake, I never really been a big fan of Drake. I always felt like this dude can rap and I like it when he raps. But I would not spend money on his albums, especially ever since Started from the Bottom. Because when I first heard that, I was like, you didn't start from no bottom. And I was like, okay, I kind of lost a little respect for this guy. You know, he's acting like he just had the struggle life. You know what I mean? No, you grew up with a good life. You know what I mean? Middle class, upper middle class family. You know what I mean? So you didn't want for anything. So, you know, around that time, that's when I was like, yeah, I can't really mess with this dude. But over the years, I always felt like he was kind of a phony. But now I'm just kind of glad that it's kind of coming out, you know, and I'm not trying to be a Drake hater.
But why is it coming out now?
Right.
That's the thing. Like what's, you know what I'm saying? Even with the whole Kendrick thing, you know what I'm saying, the whole battle, why is this stuff coming out now? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like, oh, this is a whole smear campaign, but it's just weird, you know?
Yeah, and I saw a video. It was a comedian, right? I don't know. I can't remember his name, but it was a comedian. And he, back in 2019, he made a prediction. He said in 5 years, people are going to start seeing something about how Drake is phony and all that. He's going to be exposed. And it's exactly 5 years later, and now he's exposed.
Wow.
I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man. I got to send it to you. I saw it, and I was like, yo, that's crazy.
But really, I mean, in a sense, I mean, the heads kind of already, like hip-hop heads like us, we kind of already seen it.
Right.
Because it's just like, nah, I mean, but at the same time, and I'm going to drop it because we got to go to our next topic. But yeah, it's just over time, like it was just like people didn't really care. It's like, oh, you know, and the fans that are Drake fans, not to knock them, they're not hip hop fans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're just like, oh, he can rap and da 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 da, and then, you know, he's this, and you know, he just looks, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, okay, that's the guy that raps. But to us, we kind of understood like, nah, you gotta have some substance. It can't just be about, this, that, and the third, and you know, you know, stuff in the club. That's why, certain people, what I'm saying, the hip hop heads kind of gravitated towards like the J. Cole's and the Kendricks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's no disrespect to that crowd. I mean, and everything can't be all somber and serious. I get that, but you still could be versatile. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man. Well, that's all I wanted to say. I just, I did lose a lot of respect for him once I found out a lot of his stuff was being written by other people. Because, like you said, the reference track is one thing, but to use the entire thing, you're using at least 90% or more of the reference track.
yeah,
The reference track is just supposed to be to give you an idea of how
the song
flow,
yeah,
not so you can just use their words. You know what I mean? So,
and that's the thing too. Like going back to the reference track, like with the singing, that's fine with the singing, and if you sing in the song, you may not have lived it, but you might be able to sing and put some emotion behind it to actually get that feel. It's really kind of hard to do that as a rapper because most rappers, when they rapping their stuff, they either lived it or they experienced it. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. I might be wrong on that.
fine.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you do have Dre,
Yeah.
who has been, you know what I'm saying, in Compton and things like that. But the people he was around also, and I guess that's one thing too, the people that he was around lived that life. And he was living that life with those people. So he might have been able to emote more emotion towards, because this is like, okay, this is something I would actually say.
Right.
As opposed to Drake, like, yeah, just give me something.
Right.
And it's like, nah.
But yeah, we can go ahead and move on to our next topic. What do you want to talk about now?
The last thing before, we get to the main, so Sexy Red, new song with Drake, the old BBL using the BBL Drizzy. And he was trying to flip that to like, yeah, I fly these girls out to get their BBLs lifted and stuff.
Nah, that ain't. Nah.
Yeah, I'm just like in the Taylor Made freestyle. Right. Nah.
Exactly. I mean, it's just one of them things, man. I mean, I know what he's trying to do, trying to flip it to see if he can, and that's kind of like it's a smart thing to do, but it just didn't work. I don't think it's a bad idea to try to flip it, but it didn't work. You know what I mean? But I think it just, to me, it backfired for him. You know what I mean? And the song is not great either. The overall song, I mean, but I'm not a Sexy Red fan. I'm sure a lot of y'all, listen to Sexy Red or whatever. That's your business. But I'm not really into the ratchet music like that. You know what I mean? It doesn't do anything for me. So, you can have that. And her trying to sing in the beginning, did you hear that part?
Oh my God. Yeah, those vocals were
she was horrendous. Like, I said, I mean, don't give me. Oh shit! Stop, please.
I mean, I can respect the authenticity and the honesty. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't. They could have auto tuned it up and things like that. But and I respect the flip. Hey man, I am BBL Drizzy. I fire them hoes out.
Right.
I get them. Yeah, that's why they call me BBL Drizzy. I respect the flip. It's a hell of a flip. I respect it. It's kind of funny. Someone was saying that I was looking this up on TikTok that they were talking about the flip, and people were like, "Nah, this ain't gonna work." And someone put in there and said, "Damn, Drake is trying to win the $10,000 and shit for the challenge." I was like,
"Damn, they've been roasting this dude, man.
Yo, man,
just roasting him, man." And I feel like secretly Drake feels like he won. Like he feels like I dropped the last song and Kendrick never even responded. So I'm the winner, right, guys?
No.
Right, guys?
Nah, listen. The
Right,
thing,
Chubbs?
nah. The thing of it is, it just, nah, man. I mean, it was a weak response.
Yeah.
The best, and I feel like, even with that one, it was so not winded, but it's almost like he was just discouraged.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, it's burnt out. It's burnt out. But it's like, nah, you the one that egged him on.
Mm-hmm.
You the one that poked the bear, sir.
Yep.
I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't really feel sorry for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you did in that. What was the push-ups joint? You kept saying drop, drop, drop. You was taunting him like, yeah, go ahead, drop something. Drop, drop. And Kendrick was like, okay. Boom. How about that? You didn't like that? How about this?
Nah, shoot.
Oh, you got a response for that? How about this? Before you could even sit down, Kendrick just kept dropping.
Nah, but they was pushing him and egging him, talking about, oh yeah, you got a week to respond. It's been 17 days. Right. I mean, they were counting this shit. I'm like, damn.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Act fat ass. I can't really say shit because I'm fat too.
Yeah.
I'm probably, you know what I'm saying? But act fat ass, like, yeah, what top 5 you smoking on, Kendrick? Yeah. And now he got to shut up because of all the things going on with him. Exactly. But, but anyway, we'll move on from that because everybody's talking about it.
Yeah. I'm
pretty sure that you can get other perspectives of it. But we just, want to weigh in with our 2 cents.
Yep. All right. So what's next on our list?
So let's focus on this the microphone check documentary coming out with Tariq Nasheed. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. A lot of people was talking about, just like we have this conversation, asking about, the question of the day. It seems like these corporate interests now that hip hop is a, global juggernaut, superpower. Excuse me. Ooh, don't get that on you. Superpower, global juggernaut. Hip hop has influenced the way, like, not only just culture, but how, like, Congress and politics and all this other stuff. I mean, it's just huge.
Yeah, definitely.
So with this documentary, I feel that, not doctor, but Tariq Nasheed is trying to, shed some light on some interesting things. I think I've heard him say that hip hop actually started here in North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
There are some things that was pre-rap, the Pig Meat Martin.
Markham,
Markham, sorry. Those things. And it was pre-rap, pre-hip hop. But you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, it's one of them things. I mean, I saw him in an interview. That's how when you told me about the documentary, I did a little research and I saw him in an interview. I guess he was on one of the morning shows. And he said that, part of his documentary, he just really delved deep into the origins of hip hop and how it started. And he said that from his research, graffiti started in Philadelphia.
Oh, really?
Like, wow, I never heard of that, but I'm gonna check it out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna see what he's talking about and do my homework and see if that's the case, because I've never heard that before.
So yeah, I mean, and that's one thing that's exciting about this is that you're hearing the stuff that you never heard before. You've heard this narrative. As a matter of fact, I think a couple of years ago, well, not a couple of years ago, probably more so 10 years now, they were saying that people like KRS-One, not to throw him under the bus, was given like this romanticized false history of hip hop, whereas like Africa Bambaataa this and all this other things going on. I don't know if I can even find that on YouTube. I don't know if they scrubbed it or not. I mean, I doubt like you know, I don't think I'll say it like this. I don't think that KRS-One is an industry plant or anything like that. He just might be telling the story how he lived it or how he was seeing it.
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion. But with that documentary coming out with Tariq Nasheed, maybe we'll shed some light on that and be like, okay, maybe this ain't matching up to what KRS-One is saying. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm looking forward to, the debate, discussions.
Oh, yeah. I feel like there's going to be a lot of discussions, and that's always a good thing. So I'm going to check it out. Right now, he's just been showing it at select movie theaters over the past weekend, but he said it'll be available for streaming sometime soon, maybe in the next month or so. And I think he said it was going to be on 2 platforms. I know he said one was Amazon Prime and then something else. I'm definitely going to check it out because anything that is involving itself in the origins of hip hop and, trying to really get to the root of the story, yeah, I'm good for that. I love it.
I wonder if he's going to, like, when it puts it on Prime, is it, he's going to have to, you can actually stream it, or do you have to, it's behind a paywall? Because I know a certain, when Kyrie Irving put out the link, which I will not repeat, when he put out that link on Twitter, I remember that, yeah, you could find it on Amazon, but you had to pay for it to actually see it.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I just, I'm looking forward to it because, I'm saying I was born in '83, so I'm knowledgeable about hip hop, but I still don't know everything. This man right here, we've been like known each other about 10 or 12 years now. Reason why I did this podcast because I wanted to get some of the knowledge, and I definitely wanted to get knowledge, to disseminate it towards the people so they can understand, oh, okay, this is what this was. This is what this is. Because, we want to be able to show aspects of the culture. This is why we had to rebrand this layer of the culture because we, like what he was talking about, the graffiti writing. We don't talk about these things. We don't mention these things. We don't mention the break dancer. We're always focused on, the rappers. And, I love rapping. I love it. I love the MCing because that's the spark of the engine. You know what I'm saying? We don't give credit to the DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
The producers, the people that's, actually, mixing and doing stuff. So that's, what I'm saying? That's why we did this. So, but anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Nah, you good, man. I'm glad you said that. Hell, I was born in 74, but I still don't know everything about hip hop. I just know a lot and I know what I was exposed to and how it affected me growing up. So, I did manage to see a lot, but hip hop goes back to like the 50s and 60s too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, they have recordings of people doing moonwalks back in the 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't just start in like 70s and 80s and all that. That's just when it became more of a bigger phenomenon. And, I was breakdancing. Matter of fact, my closest friend that used to breakdance with me was a Puerto Rican kid named Christopher.
Okay.
Me and him used to battle. You know what I mean? We'd go to school and we get there. The other kids were like, yeah, we want to battle y'all. We would battle them and do our thing, man. And we won every time. We won every single time. But I just love breakdancing, man. And, beatboxing, I always did that too. I wasn't the best beatboxer, but I had a couple of little unique ones that I did. And, rapping too, man, I was exposed to a lot. I think the first record that was bought for me was Nucleus Jam on it, which was like, I think that was in 83. But of course it was going on way before that. But that was just the first one that was bought for me. And I think that was one of our older brothers just trying to encourage us, like, this is good music. Hip hop is good music. And it's not just about country music, which was saturating TV, rock and roll, then heavy metal, all of that shit was saturating MTV and all of that. But I think my older brothers was just trying to let me know, hey, this is it too, you know what I mean? And this is something that we can relate to, you know what I mean? It gives us the beats that we like to dance to, all of that,
So let me ask you this. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
So if, I was listening to a gentleman this morning, and he was saying that hip hop wasn't widespread nationally.
Yeah.
Around like the 80s because of R&B, because of, like you said, oversaturated. So before hip hop, what music were you listening to? What was like the average? Like if you were born in 74, let's say it's like 80. Well, yeah, let's say it's 83.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you'd be what? You'd be
I'd be like 9.
Yeah. Let's say it's 83. So what would 9-year-old Curtis be listening to outside of
it was a mixture. A lot of it was the 70s soul music. And then you had some rock and roll, like there was a lot of rock and roll that was popular. Huey Lewis and the News, Elton John, all those types. So, you couldn't help but be into that, a little bit. But a lot of it was, I think if I had to say what the majority was, it was more like the 70s and early 80s soul and R&B, because that's what my household always just played, those types of records.
Yeah.
And then when I watched TV, I would see the rock and roll and all of that country music. So I would dig into that a little bit too. So yeah, but mostly like soul, disco, R&B for the majority.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, Michael Jackson. So
every man, shit, come on,
man. Yeah, man, you couldn't help but hear that. You know what I mean? Every kid in that era wanted to be Michael Jackson, even though the moonwalk was like going on before Mike. He learned it from street b-boys, but when he did it, it was just like an experience. You know what I mean? So you looked at him like, yo, I want to do it like Mike do it. It was just so effortless. You know what I mean? So. But yeah, that was that. What about you? When before you got into hip hop, what were you listening to?
Well, I think, let's see. Okay, I think I'll take it to about 87, 88. I was about 5 or 6. I knew it was there. I could hear it, but it wasn't something, again, was readily available.
Right.
I knew it was there. I felt it resonate with me because it's like, man, like seeing these black people and they're doing this, and you know what I'm saying? And then what's crazy about it, like even going to my cousin's house when I was younger and stuff, people were out there skipping and jumping rope. So I kind of just saw that
right
and hip hop, like that whole thing. But as far as listening, I would say, like, honestly, I guess like you said, the pretty much like the Huey Lewis and the News. Man, I would probably say. I mean, I was listening to what my parents listened to, like the Barry Whites. They had like, what was the little ones? The 33s?
45.
The 45s, the little ones. So the 30, yeah. So they had like 45s, 33s.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? So we would listen, me and my sister, rest in peace. We would listen to Barry White. We would, mock and dance off of that. They have like, I want to say they had Earth, Wind, and Fire. They definitely had, my mom was a Temps head. She loved the Temptations. Mm. So yeah, she played that. Luther, you know what I'm saying? Luther Vandross. But me, like, as far as like just digging and stuff, I hate to say it, I like pop. I like Genesis. I was big on Genesis. I mean, I like Michael Jackson too. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. No, Michael Jackson definitely king of that shit. But as far as like, I like Genesis, but it was kind of like adult pop. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a adult rock stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other guy. you call my bodyguard. You can call me out.
Sound familiar.
I forgot his name, but
can't place it.
Yeah, I like that type of stuff. Steve Winwood.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? When I was, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I heard this stuff. I didn't realize who the artist was.
Right.
But, I just kind of heard that. But again, still hip hop was in the midst of all that. It still had like a pull on me. You know what I'm saying? But it was there, but it was just in pockets because we didn't really. I mean, we had 102 jams down here.
Right.
But and they would play some stuff, but really, the radio wasn't on, especially in my mom's car, wasn't on that all the time.
Right.
So
exactly.
So.
But yeah, well, let me ask you this: what are your earliest memories of like really just being influenced and getting into hip hop as a culture?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It had to be Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Trouble T. Man, listen.
Wow.
When I heard that shit, I was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I was 9 years old. Well, let me take that back. I'll take that back. It did have a pull on me because that song was just, man.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful song. But yeah, definitely like, I would say when I was 15 and stuff, like Cypress Hill, Mobb Deep, Goody Mob, when that was on the scene, that was like, yeah, this is what I'm fucking with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking with this. And it's like, and I knew they weren't like so-called like the best, if you will.
Yeah.
But I knew to me, it's like, in order for you to, as far as like hip hop, this is the standard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to make light of, Goody Mob and Mobb Deep, because I mean, shit, man, Prodigy was a fucking monster.
Man. Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as like that, what pulled me in, I would definitely say, Pete Rock and CL Smooth with Trouble T. Roy, because that man, listen, I remember like buying, and this is when I think I was either 17. I bought Sway and Tech with DJ Revolution.
Oh, okay.
And they had like a segment of like little songs. Like they had a whole album, but they had a little mix. Like I think DJ Revolution was on the mix. They had a little segment of songs. They played like Chuck Chill Rob, Courts in Session.
Yeah.
They played Looking at the Front Door.
Wow.
From Large Professor, the main source. When they did that CL Smooth, when they did it, I said, shit, I ain't heard this in years.
Yeah.
I always I was a kid, like I always wanted to know where that went.
Yeah.
When they played it, man, I'm telling you, man. So that really, man, that really changed my world, dude.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, it was funny because me and my brother met him 2 weeks before he passed away at a White Castle in the Bronx. And, he just came in with a few of his people just hanging out. I was like, yo, Trouble T. Roy. And 2 weeks, I think it was about maybe 2 weeks later, they said he died. I was like, man, that's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
I mean, and he just seemed like a good dude. I remember when he walked into the place, he just had this big smile on his face. He just had a smile, one of those that would just light up the room, man. He was one of those guys. He had a certain energy about him. So I can see why they wrote that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because most people would say, oh, he was just a backup dancer. Nah, that dude, you can tell he was more than that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, see, that's the thing, not to cut you, but that's the thing that hip hop back then, it was so close knit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was close with the people. You could feel it.
Yeah.
You could just feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It was saturating everything, man.
Yeah.
So, but I think that was pretty much all I had. Did you have anything else?
Nah. I mean, definitely a good build. We definitely got to, you know what I'm saying? It's just that, the history and stuff. One thing about this platform, what we want to do, we want to actually preserve it, preserve the culture, preserve the history of it, because we definitely don't want other people telling our story.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And what I mean by that is, as a collective, not just black people, but everybody that was responsible and contribute to like the culture of hip hop. But I definitely want it to be represented right. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it, yeah, well, Howie was born in 83 and he did the beatbox and and Howie was up. I'm like, nah, that chill. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
man.
That's what it is,
But we really appreciate y'all, listening, and we hope that y'all weigh in the comments so we can get your feedback. We definitely want to delve deep into the cultures because, there's layers to this. You know what I mean? You got to be able to peel back them layers. So that's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? We're going to have a lot of discussions about the origins of hip hop and giving flowers to those who were pioneers and kind of set the tone for everybody. So that's one thing that's been heavy on my mind. I really want to give flowers to those who really helped set off this whole culture. You know what I mean? Because it's not just a genre of music; it's a culture.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, real quick, man! I see that you got some records, man. You want to show?
Yeah.
You got to show the class what you got, sir. Can't just come up here, bring up records to talk about.
Yeah, I did a post on Instagram. I think on my TikTok, I think, but I bought a few vinyls recently. This is from Sugar Hill Records. It's the Furious Five featuring Cowboy Melly Mel and Scorpio. It's a classic called Step Off.
Okay.
If you were young enough to hear this song, it was all over the radio. Step off, because you got to step off, because you're soft. You know what I mean? So I had to have that one. I got Mantronics, the album.
Mantronics.
Mantronics is a classic producer. He's still doing his thing today. He actually still makes beats. So I bought that album. I bought Dana Dane. You know what I mean? Yeah, I had to have that. You know what I mean? So Dana Dane with Fame.
Cinderella, Dana Dane.
He had a song called Delancey Street.
Delancey Street.
Yeah, old school New Yorkers would know whenever you wanted like good, like high value clothing, you would go to Delancey Street because that's where they had like all the, let's say Gucci, Louis Vuitton, the higher value stuff where you was just like, yeah, I want that them jeans that got such and such on them. So that's where you went for that. And then I got the Crash Crew.
Oh, the Crash Crew.
Yeah, We Want to Rock. So yeah, that's also through Sugar Hill Records.
We Want to Rock. What? That's not the. No. Is that the one that said you? And they say New York City.
I don't think that's that one. I think that's a different one. I can't remember. I haven't listened to them yet, actually. So I'm gonna have to break them out. But, but yeah, it's a few.
Dope.
It's a few places around town that still sell vinyls, and every now and then I'm like, I gotta stop buying.
Yeah, I gotta get. I was collecting. I gotta get back on my vinyl grind.
Yeah,
at least get an album or two. Because man, I'm telling you, just to preserve that, man. Because it's what I'm saying, it's with this AI stuff and all this stuff going on. I mean, one day we might be old. And we might be like, well, damn, I think this came out. And they'll have like some old school rapper like, yeah, well, I said, don't put it in my butt, just like this. And then the sucker's coming through. And it was like, wait a minute, I don't remember hearing this.
Exactly.
Why my man You know what I'm saying?
For y'all youngins, you know what I mean? These records, man, this is what we mean when we say keep it on wax. Because, a lot of people have been throwing that term around in the beef with Kendrick Lamar and Drake, saying, as long as we keep it on wax. That's what they mean because, we call these wax. You know what I mean? Because they're basically saying, keep it music. Don't try to take it to the street. We don't want to see anybody die over this beef. So keep it on wax. So I just want to let y'all know that's where that term comes from.
You hear that, Drake? Keep it on wax.
You're right.
Which I mean, even with the whole shooting thing that happened, I will say I am proud of both artists that it didn't really get out of hand. So I will give them both You know what I'm
Agreed.
saying? You know, at least as far as we know.
Right.
I mean, you know, it hasn't got too out of hand.
Yeah,
I
man.
respect that.
Well, I appreciate y'all again. You know, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I know we kept y'all a little bit, but you know, we do episodes every 2 weeks, so please check us out. This is episode number 7.
Number 7.
So
we're gonna chop and we're gonna chop and screw it up.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
And please follow us on all platforms. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on X. We're on Spotify. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you like listening to audio and you know you don't really care about seeing anything, please check us out on Spotify. We are there.
Yeah, you don't want to see my ugly ass.
Oh man. But yeah, you know, either way, you know, one last time, please don't forget.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.
Brothers and sisters. All right. Well, for episode number 7 and Layers of the Culture, this is your man Kurt, and this is
Howie.
And we'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.